I'll explain some of the reasons why I don't think the people who have set themselves up as um, judge and jury in their heads out here on the West Coast, who lured me here with protection from abuse promises and then tortured me, should actually and authentically be persuasive in saying that they should be allowed to take control of my writing and so forth. First, I've established the history of some of the things. I never get acknowledged for having done so, but they said they're not sorry for anything that they did, only they had to be me. It was a categorical imperative. So it's not about me, it's just about sticking somebody up and getting away with it. They made some hue and cry about John Lennon to cover for AIDS. The hue and cry got so big they claimed they weren't covering for AIDS anymore. But who wanted revenge was the people with AIDS. Oh, how's that work? Well, it's hypnography. It's a slip knot. But if you look carefully at Jacqueline Kennedy's movements, she ran off to the Beatles. She's Leaving Home was virtually a theme song about her. You see that she likely had a weapon in her hand, helped blow away JFK. If you see the evidence, God forbid that anybody should look at the evidence. Why would you want to just deliver to them on faith an honest, hardworking detective who's been so productive? It's not that I don't believe I should be paid for my work and my injuries. I do. And it's a huge mistake to say, oh, if somebody wants to wash dishes for 2 full-time jobs without being paid and be beaten on the back by queers, you should allow them to. And they have a nerve implant and they're deaf and have nothing else to do. You pay people for their work and their injuries. It's normal. Don't make it sound so abnormal. It's normal. Anyway, they tortured me and they made these things that are perfectly normal sound abnormal. And they delayed and delayed. It's not cosmic jazz. They make it sound like cosmic, the debris of hell. That poor queerball was an Aquarian who wanted to build greenhouses on campus. Was it stupid to start studying climate and botany in the 80s? Was it stupid to want to take the Hunger Project and help Sudan? Was that stupid? They make it sound like it was stupid because they wanted to have a genocide peep show and make money, exploiting somebody who they tortured into trauma and then bet money on a dare and said, oh, it was all about hotties. What does traveling to Mount Desert Island to hang out with an asshole like Will Zell have to do with hotties? He was in the Gurdjieff Society. They were affiliated with Fripp, and I wanted to know what was what with regard to the Gurdjieff Society. What does that have to do with hotties? Doesn't have anything whatsoever to do with hotties. They say, oh, I got involved with girls at College of the Atlantic. I didn't go there thinking I was going to get involved with girls from the College of the Atlantic. They put up an entrapment operation and dared me to play into it for information. How to kill a county detective was their game there. If you look at the pattern, Mannix. Look at the synopsis of Search for the Dead Man or whatever it's called. Look at the one with the guy with the thing over his face saying, I want you to find out who killed me. It's a masquerade. The first Kung Fu has, we'll know you're still alive. The number one, we'll know you're still alive. The theme is played and danced from time immemorial with this crowd. Jackie Kennedy had that Pink Panther outfit and that weapon in the limousine. They put out a magazine about inside the car with JFK, Hollywood's most daring bedroom scene, side by side on the cover. and with the trajectory into the neck where she's holding the thing on a skull. You can see it. It's in Twitter. It's in my. God forbid that anybody look at the evidence. Jackie Kennedy was a friend of Nyinsky, who was a friend of Mick Jagger, who was groomed by Diaghilev, who introduced the nuncio to Sarah Bernhardt. The nuncio's acolyte, Luigi Freddi, introduced Mussolini to D.W. Griffith, who's assistant director Royal Welsh made Reagan's wartime films. So Jackie Kennedy is right on the ball with Hitler Reagan. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump when you pour on milk. 1, 2, 3. You can play that back, or I can go through it again. Nyinsky was hanging out with Jacqueline Kennedy and Mick Jagger, and he was groomed by Diaghilev, who introduced the nuncio to Sarah Bernhardt. The nuncio introduced his acolyte Luigi Freddi, introduced Mussolini to D.W. Griffith, whose assistant director made Reagan's wartime films with all the Hitler symbolism and the Lazarus stuff. If you look, actually, God forbid that anybody would ever look at the evidence, and everybody just went with the script. They pretended that the people who wrote the script had found it, even though the year before Lenin stepped out for his double fantasy routine. A looking like spitting image of the girl who wrote the script, the Israeli, appears on one of his best friend's records, 1979. And he toured on a found art platform. You know, he would record people and put them in this spin. And they're liars. They advertise that they lie. How could they take discipline? Ballou claims he was walking around a corner shaking like a leaf. Somebody takes the tape away from him, turns it on, and it says he held a gun to his head. How could it play if they turned it on to play it back? How could it be recording them if they're playing it back? What gun? 2 policemen. How could they be recording it if they're playing it back? What they do? Hey, record us now, Adrian. It's called frame analysis. They thought, well, we'll pouch the queer bait and demand his frame analysis. And they started REMing the blinking. Because you and I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea. I think it's specious to say that a person is born into a royal family of leadership. You know, like the King Thorol's stuff. No matter what he is, he gets crowned. James McRowley Carreri was a candidate for public office. My father knew Eisenhower and Bush. I'm an intelligent, talented person. I knew Milton Shapp when I was a child, the governor of Pennsylvania. And there's a whole set of reasons why. And the Zionists hit me in the head, torture, hired people to gas me, subject me to 3 Holocaust simulation experiments. And I just, I was deaf. And people made me out to be, a marginalized fella. And so I accepted that. Girls passed me around. I just went with the girls who were interested in me because I needed a girlfriend. So it wasn't that big of a deal. It's the way my sister always behaved. So what's the story? I didn't even know their appalling Hardy who came to get me to detonate a neuroplasm they put in me and knew about. I didn't even know she was a virgin. How could I have been hunting a virgin if I fell in love with a girl I didn't even know was a virgin? It's not logical. It doesn't make sense. They don't profess to make sense. What gun 2 policemen? Well, after they turn it on and play it, right? It records them while they're playing it. It doesn't profess to make any sense. They don't even profess to make any sense. Virginity doesn't prove rape. There's not soon to be another ice age. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Reagan didn't know is baloney. His attorneys for the FEMA, who he continued to work with, covering for Wilson Brom, who was an avowed Goebbels admirer, they claim he was representing the Jewish Defense League. They don't even profess to be telling the truth. They don't even profess to be making any sense. They're cold-blooded, sarcastic, jaded, evil mercenaries from British rock music. That's all they are. They're nothing more than that. They're literally zero